This episode is brought to you by Pepsi Wild Cherry. Pepsi Wild Cherry is bursting with delicious cherry flavor and a sweet, crisp taste that gives you more to go wild for. Getting wild may look different these days, but whether it's opting for a solo Friday binge watch or a big night out, everyone can indulge in their wild side with Pepsi Wild Cherry. Also available in Zero Sugar. So grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
Hey guys, it is Ryan. I'm not sure if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a fun fanatic when I can. I like to work, but I like fun too. It's a thing. And now the truth is out there. I can tell you about my favorite place to have fun. Chumba Casino. They have hundreds of social casino style games to choose from with new games released each week. You can play for free anytime, anywhere. And each day brings a new chance to collect daily bonuses. So join me in the fun. Sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
It's a very good morning to all of our Serie A Chronicles tifosi, and you can probably hear from my tone I'm a little bit disappointed this morning because we are breaking down Napoli's elimination from the Champions League, last season's Serie A champions, and it's very much last season. There's barely a trace left of the Scudetto winning side. There is in terms of personnel, but less so in terms of results and play. They are but a shadow of what they produced so stunningly last season. But yes, the Serie A champions bowed out of the competition at the last 16 stage to the reigning La Liga champions Barcelona. And if we're honest, I can't say we're overly surprised. Certainly that's my take on things, in the sense that Napoli were never ahead in this tie. They were constantly behind. They fell behind at the Maradona in the first leg to that Lewandowski goal. They got an equaliser from Victor Osimhen. But last night they scored, or rather they conceded twice in the space of the first 15 minutes. And when you're doing that away from home, yes, it's Montjuic as opposed to the Camp Nou, but when you are giving yourself a 2-goal deficit to make up, you need to score twice away at Barcelona just to force the game into extra time, then it's always going to be an uphill battle. And so it proved. And you can break down all of the ifs, buts and maybes. You can say, yes, should Osimhen have had a penalty? Yes, should Lindstrom have scored that header when Napoli were 2-1 down with 10 minutes to go, which would have made it 2-2. But ultimately, I think Napoli just haven't done enough this season, and every big decision they've had to make, they have got wrong. So this is going to be more of a breakdown of what's gone wrong as a whole over the course of the season, as opposed to the microcosm of last night's match. There are huge repercussions. The front page of Il Corriere dello Sport, which is a Rome-based newspaper, albeit they have several editions, one of which is a Naples edition, and they tend to follow the Rome clubs and the southern clubs, Napoli in particular. And their headline this morning was rather succinct and very eloquent. Ci va la Juve. It was in reference to the Club World Cup and Juventus because of their efforts in Europe over the last few seasons, 5-year period if I'm not mistaken. They have accumulated enough points to be Italy's second side to qualify for next summer's revamped 32-team Club World Cup, which will take place in the United States. It's a test event for the 2026 World Cup in the US, Mexico and Canada, albeit the bulk of the matches will be on American soil. So I can't say we're overly surprised. It always looked like an uphill battle. It felt like Napoli were clinging on to this hope of accumulating the 6 points that they needed to make further progress in the Champions League and qualify for the Club World Cup at Juventus's expense. It's galling for them because they're the reigning Italian champions. They're also rans in Serie A. It's looking unlikely that Napoli will qualify for the Champions League again via the league, albeit if they can somehow rouse themselves and finish in fifth and hope that actually their rivals do them a favour, the likes of Milan, Atalanta, Roma, Inter and Fiorentina, who are still involved in European competition. If they can continue to get results, then maybe Italy will stay in the top two with regards to UEFA coefficients and therefore get that fifth spot in next season's 36-team Champions League, which is also being revamped. But this all stems from not adequately replacing Kim Min-jae last summer, the Defender of the Year. This all comes from having no real concrete plan as to when Luciano Spalletti decided he was going to take a break from football. Victor Osimhen, while showing flashes of some of his best form since Calzona has come in, has been in and out of the side because of injury, because of the Africa Cup of Nations. What Napoli needed last night was big performances from their big players. And in Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen, they have two potentially world-class attacking players on their day, and neither of them were able to make their mark. Yes, Osimhen scored in the first leg, but Kvaratskhelia, a few days on from what I think was his best performance individually in the 2 seasons he's been at Napoli, that almost one-man show and a 1-1 draw against Torino, just wasn't able to have enough of an impact in the game against Barcelona. We saw how Barcelona can hurt you. Politano didn't track the runner on the first goal. And then the cutback was clever, Lewandowski with the dummy, and there's a bit of good fortune perhaps about the finish from Fermin Lopez. You can say, does a player necessarily try and shoot between a defender's legs? Possibly. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of Manchester United fame will tell you yes, but the ball coolly slotted into the corner. A couple of minutes later, Napoli caught short in pursuing an equaliser. Rafinha almost scores with the initial shot, hits the post, and there's João Cancelo to sweep home the rebound. Again, you can say maybe a bit of bad luck for Napoli that the ball cannons off the post straight to a Barcelona player. But as soon as you're 2-0 down after 17 minutes, then you're always going to be struggling. But by the way, this is a Barcelona side that are playing 2 players born in the year 2007. One's 16, still to turn 17. The other 17 is playing centre-back in Lamine Yamal and Paul Kubasi. And that's what we're missing a little bit in the Italian game, this courage to develop these players, to throw them in to Champions League knockout matches before they've even turned 18. We're a million miles away from that, but that is for a whole other day. It's a really depressing title defence for Napoli. They went out of the Coppa Italia, lest we forget. Head to SerieAchronicles.com/Patreon now and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership with a free 7-day trial. Get early access to every full-length episode and voice note before the rest of the world. Plus, all episodes are 100% ad-free. And you get bonus Patreon-only exclusive episodes, video episodes, and behind-the-scenes extras. Also, be sure to join the new chat community in the Patreon app and chat with fellow subscribers.
Sports Social Podcast Network.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.